I think for me, the inspiration for tattoos is a mixture of things. One of the most, like, my sort of like reason for getting tattoos is mostly artwork. It's stuff that I like, and I see it on, see someone do a flash drawing or something like that, and I see it on like social media, and people like artwork, people get artwork, they get up on their walls, but most people are not necessarily willing to get it on their body. And I think if you see something at that time that you like, why not get it on your body? Why not get something that, sort of gave you feeling and gave you sort of, I don't know, a little bit of emotion towards it. But yeah, that and sort of memories, and I have memories for like certain tattoos for memories, certain different things with family and friends and stuff like that. And like, I've got stick and poke tattoos as well from friends that like just do it themselves, so it's not all just professional stuff. It's also like, yeah, it's a bonding experience as well. Like, having someone put artwork on you, especially if it's a friend, is just quite a meaningful thing to me. In terms of like meanings, this one, it was my aunt. She passed away maybe 2-3 years ago, and she was a seamstress. So these are like the scissors that she had, and her name Betty, I got that put on there as well. And I see that like sort of in the mirror every now and then. It's just another reminder of, her, and like, she's basically like a second mum to me. So like, growing up, I'd always be there, always here. And after some time, I think people do stop thinking about certain people that are in their lives and not really giving it much thought until one day they see something that reminds them. I now have something that's going to remind me of her pretty much every other day or every day when I see it. So yeah, that's probably my favourite one anyway. In terms of memory, that's my favourite one. In terms of like style, it's probably my back tattoo, just because it's such a obviously big piece and it's taken so long and it's meant quite a lot. The person that did it, he's quite spiritual, so he treats it quite like a ritual, and that's sort of something that I've learned from getting tattoos. Like, when getting tattoos from friends and stuff like that, there's a ritual to it, in the same way you have rituals for, I don't know, anything, cooking, working. Like, you've got these little sort of traditions and things that you do, and yeah, I really just like love the whole sort of the ethos around tattooing, really, and where it really comes from. But yeah.
For me, the influence of getting tattoos came from seeing other people who had tattoos, because I just thought it looked great. So for me, at the start, I don't think it was to do with I have a message or I want to have some artwork or something on me. It was more, I like how it looks, This is quite a recent tattoo that I got. I got it while I was in Rhodes in Greece, and I got this matching with my girlfriend. And see, 831 is actually a lyric from a song which I wrote. What it means is it's another way of saying I love you. Okay, so it's like 8 letters, 3 words, 1 meaning. And that's, I love you, essentially, is what it means. And I got that matching with my girlfriend. So yeah, it's just a way of us saying that we love each other, And yeah, that's what that means. And that one I'm really happy with. I like the way it looks. I've always wanted to get tattoos on my legs, and that was the first one that I got on my leg. And that's one that I'm super happy with, man.
Honestly, there's not like one reason. I just grew up. Like, I always loved drawing as a child, and like I did illustration at uni, and I always grew up like loving tattoos and like seeing other people's tattoos, and I just wanted them since I was like super young. None of my friends were into them. It was just like the thing that I was into on my own. And I used to like draw tattoo ideas when I was a kid. I kind of had the idea of being a tattoo artist at one point, but that quickly disappeared. But yeah, I just always loved them. I think because I just love drawing and illustration. I think it's like the idea of like wearable art, and you can like take it with you everywhere you go. That sounds kind of lame, but that's probably it, to be honest. Honestly, most of them don't have emotional. The only one I have is I have my dad's, like, it's under my watch. It's really rubbish. I have my dad's birthday, which I got when I was like 18. That was my first ever tattoo, because I lost my dad when I was 13. So that one like meant something, but none of them really mean much. I tend to go for like, I research people on Instagram, and I find a style that I like, and then I just get the tattoo. But I travel quite a lot for them. So I went to like Holland for this one, and I came down to London for that one before I lived here. So I tend to travel for the artist. So it's like going to an art exhibition or something like that, I guess.
Firstly, growing up in a Samoan Polynesian family, tattoos aren't really something you shy away from. All my uncles, family relatives all had tattoos growing up. So I thought that was something that I wanted personally to have on my skin as well. My first tattoo was my cultural tattoo. That's to signify if you wanted to be a chieftain in Samoa. Right now it's more so a rite of passage. Afterwards, I got my skin done on my forearm. Two of the tattoos represent my grandparents. The one with the Viking and the rose is my granddad's tattoo. The cross is there for my faith, and the stopwatch is there for my favorite scripture in the Bible. Icarus as well, another meaning for me is that, you know, Icarus flew too close to the sun. Got a bit too overconfident from being released from his prison and ended up perishing into the sea. My bingo pen is there for my grandma as well. Growing up, we went to the bingo together growing up, and so that's a precious memory I hold in my heart. So all these tattoos that I have hold precious meaning to me, to answer your question.
Yeah, not so much here in London. London's pretty forward thinking with that sort of thing. There's still some professions where it's frowned upon. I've done a little bit of travelling, and there's some places like India and Asia where like you'd come across maybe an older gentleman, an older woman, and they'd look at you and give you a little bit of a disgusting look if they see any tattoos on show. So yeah, in some other countries obviously it's still quite prevalent, but here in London it's really not that bad. I think it's one of the most forward-thinking places for the likes of tattoos, a bit like Germany, stuff like that, like just a lot more accepting. But again, it's probably more of a generational thing. Like people my age now, they don't care if people have tattoos or they don't have tattoos. It's someone's personal choice, the same way being gay, someone's choice, all these sort of things, religion, stuff like that. Like if it's a free country and it's a free world, then you should be able to really do whatever you want to do. It's your body, it's your life. I can put whatever I want on my body, as long as it doesn't, you know, offend other people, as long as it's not hurting anyone else, not hurting their feelings, stuff like that, then there's no reason to really condemn tattoos at all. I just don't believe in people that do, and think it's just a barbaric way of thinking.
Yeah, I think so. Like my mum didn't like tattoos when I first got them. Took her a long time to come around to them. And on the bus sometimes I've got like all my arms out and my tattoos out. You can see old ladies looking at me like giving me that sort of look as if to say, why have you done that to yourself? Or occasionally like or people who are religious, I think sometimes they find it weird that like a woman has lots of tattoos. But I don't really notice it, and I think like everybody's their own person, you know. It's your choice to cover up or my choice to have tattoos, so I don't notice it as much. No one's ever said anything to me about it. No one's ever come up to me. Quite a lot of my friends now have tattoos, so when we're all together, we're like a group of tattooed people. So I don't stand out. But yeah, I don't notice it very much. I'm sure there is, but I try to ignore it, to be honest.
From my personal experience, that there are certain assumptions that are made with people with tattoos, especially tattoos with the same skin color that I have. I know that's something that I hold closely to my heart, where, you know, if you get to know the person, you see the substance behind the skin, you'll be able to really break barriers and really get to know the person. So I do believe there is still a little bit of prejudice to this day. I do think as a society we are moving that much further where I can proudly declare and show off my tattoos with pride, rather than having to hide it and to not get a job interview, to not really have that door open for me. So I think as a society, I think we are on the right step.
I'd say when it comes to prejudice around having tattoos today in 2022, I would say it's becoming way more accepted, and you know, over the last kind of 5 to 10 years it's been getting better and better, but there is still certain places, certain job roles, and certainly a certain demographic of people who would like frown upon tattoos. You know, I don't know it from first-hand experience, but within my industry, which is music, I don't experience any prejudice at all. In fact, it's seen as a good thing, and you know, it's definitely becoming way more accepted. It's not there yet, maybe like 90%. But I think in the next 10 years, it will be completely fine. And also, as bad as it sounds, there's an older generation who will inevitably pass away over the next 10, 20 years, and with them will kind of die this prejudiced view on, not out of their fault. That's what they've grown up knowing tattoos to be. I think, like you were saying before, like prisoners, sailors, or that kind of stuff, they view it as that, but we don't see it as that. And soon there's going to be a load of old people walking around with full sleeves, face tattoos. That's going to be the new normal. It's like you look like a grandpa with that tattoo, you know, and maybe the younger generation won't get them because of that. But yeah, that's my thought on it.